You're listening to the Kilcullen Diary Podcasts, stories in sound from a village grown bigger. Hello, I'm Brian Byrne, and this is Kilcullen Diary. This is the first episode in a series called The Accidental Pilgrim, recalling my thoughts during a Kilcullen Parish pilgrimage to the Holy Land in 2007. Even though I'm not a religious person, the trip still resonates after a decade and a half for lots of reasons. I've had the good fortune to travel to many parts of the world in my time with lots of great experiences, but this one at least matches any of them. The journey. Getting to Israel is a bit of a haul from Kilcullen. Our group of pilgrims began the odyssey with a coach to Dublin Airport, which seemed to be on a go-slow through check-in, and then a first flight to Frankfurt, an escorted transfer to our next boarding gate, which, being the portal to Israel, had stringent and full pat-down security, which nevertheless was done with efficiency and courtesy. And then a 4-hour flight to Tel Aviv with a good meal served. Not really enough time to settle down to sleep, but we all got to Israel in reasonable shape. There, the queue for immigration was slow, as we had been warned about. We had then a 2-hour coach ride to Tiberias, and I think most of us slept a while on that. I woke up when dawn had broken and watched the passing countryside. Brown and green, lots of homes. Road and business signs which were in undecipherable Hebrew hieroglyphics, except where they also had English. My wife Vivian said, looking at the signs, that it must be like what signs at home are to people who haven't learned to read and write. It was clearly heavily intensive agriculture in the area, much tillage, a lot of olive trees, and though I didn't see any on this part of the journey, I gathered there's also a lot of wine. When we got to our hotel, we'd been travelling for 16 hours in all. It was a case of a quick breakfast, an excellent buffet scrum with a group who were obviously leaving, and then to bed for a few hours before the first Mass of a trip of many Masses. The first Mass. It was a small crisis, but one which could have been problematic for the plan to say Mass on the Sea of Galilee. I'd been told that the boat we hired would provide the essentials for saying Mass, Father Michael Murphy, leading the pilgrimage, said. But I've just heard that they don't. Which was why he climbed aboard the bus with a bag of bread rolls negotiated from the hotel kitchen. As it happened, a Mass kit was found to be available in the coach luggage compartment. So all went off in the normal way. The Sea of Galilee is actually a medium-sized lake, and according to the biblical accounts, it was to the northern part of it that Jesus came to begin his ministry. Many of the stories of those early days in his short few years of work relate to this place. It was where he met his first follower, Mary Magdalene, as well as several others later, where he is said to have performed a number of miracles, and where he met his disciple Peter for the first time, and also for the last time, because it was in this same area that the story is set of his appearance to his disciples after the resurrection. Father Murphy celebrated Mass out on the lake for the group. As he did so, he noted the difference between a tourist and a pilgrim. A tourist goes through a place, he said, while a pilgrim lets a place go through him. Let us pray that we will let the holy places which we visit here in the next few days go through us. The Mass on a boat is a traditional pilgrim event here, and generally is an introduction to the stories from the time of Jesus and his founding of Christianity. The group enjoyed the afternoon, despite signs of a threatening thunderstorm, which, if it had happened, could have added just one more element to one of the stories we all learned as children. It didn't happen, and we all came safely back to shore, the journey and the day catching up on us, and it was an early night for all after dinner. A first experience of a different land, a different time, and lots more to come. I'm Brian Byrne, this is Kilcullen Diary, and this was the first episode in a series from the Accidental Pilgrim. Thanks for listening.